Hey guys, it's me, RDV. I'm here again with Zach. Hot take, Zach.
That's right.
Yes, he's here with all your hot takes. I'm here
Yep.
with the lukewarm, reheated ones.
My takes are as hot as my cup of coffee.
I apologize. We are going a little later this week because Zach wanted to spend time with his wife. I don't know why any married guy would want to do that. Usually they get sick of them and want to have their own separate time. He's not that stage.
I'm not at that stage. No, we've been in the honeymoon phase forever. So
Yes, yes. So
yes, we watched The Mummy.
I,
So
I know your plan. Spend as much time with you she gets sick of you, and then you can do your own stuff. Yes.
but
Top five is yeah. So tonight, as we always do, we take 5 books from our pull lists, what we think are going to be the best books of the week, and then on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, we go over and we rank our books, what we got, and we try to figure out, if we're right. For those who are following along tonight and those who are watching this after the streams ended, please leave in the comment section your poll list. And then so that way we can see exactly if your poll list matches up, what are going to be the best books of the week this Thursday. And shout out to Eric Breen, our comrade, our historian who helps us out on Thursday night retrospectives after the best of the week, is feeling under the weather right now.
oh no,
Yeah, hopefully he's here on Thursday. This Thursday we'll be talking about Secret Wars, the
that's
first
right.
one,
That's
not
right.
the Bendis.
Have you been reading through it though?
I have to dive into it later in tonight. As you know me, I've been watching Bosch on Amazon.
God, dog. I know.
There he is. Cough. Says
I
Eric Green.
started. I'm doing a refresher read through of
Yes.
it. I went through the first 2 or 3 issues today. So
Also, for those
still
who
looks up.
for those who don't know this, Eric Breen has content on his channel. It's newish. It's been around for 6 months, but guys got almost 1,000 views on one video alone.
Is it the tour of the comic cave? Which is
Where the comic cave.
Which is what I'm calling it from now on.
Skip it, Tosh. I see you're in the chat. I mean, you joined us last Thursday. If you want to join us for the top 5, let us know. I'll drop the link for you. All right. Well, that being said, I might as well jump right into it, I guess. And this week I'll let you go first.
Oh, I'm touched. Oh, wow. I get to go first.
As long as you don't report it to HR.
Never.
Never.
Toby. We hate Toby in this house. All right. So yeah, let's get started here. Skip says, sure, DM him the link.
Actually, can you do that?
I can do that.
I'm screening right now.
as I'm looking for my list of my top 5, I can also, yes, I have 4 eyes and 5 hands. Yes. No, I'll do that.
Right, cool. Thank you. I literally have to sit here with the full screen, so I can't exactly click over.
That's all right.
Otherwise, you'll see all the behind the scenes stuff. I wish you could share the StreamYard link through the phone.
I just sent it to you Discord there, Skipperoo.
All right, cool.
Number 5. Wait, why is Zach hates Toby Rhaegar? You're gonna throw me off track. No,
I don't know.
That's weird. I don't hate Toby Maguire.
No, we only hate this book up there.
Oh, he heard me say we hate Toby, and I was talking about Toby. From
I don't know who Toby is. Is that one of the dogs from the Clifford the cartoon?
No, it's the HR guy from The Office. Everybody hates Toby.
I didn't watch The Office.
No, because all you watch is Bosch and Justice League.
Well, I don't watch. Well, no, actually, Justice League is actually pretty good. Now you're dissing the Justice League cartoon and Justice League
Unlimited. Not at all. I'm just saying, broaden your horizon.
You said it though. Like that's all you do is watch Justice League. We're on a comic book show here. Gentlemen.
Number 5. Speaking of comic books, see you're derailing me here.
I'll never derail you. You're already derailed.
Well, that is true. Deathstroke Incorporated number 9 is my number 5 pick.
Deathstroke Inc. Isn't it funny how they go from Batman Inc. now they have Deathstroke Inc.
Yeah, but Deathstroke Inc. has Joshua Williamson writing and
Paulo Pantalina
and Paulo Pantalina on the art. Yeah, so Deathstroke Inc. kind of went quiet on it for a while. I just kind of sort of slunk out of reading it. But now I'm back into it now. Joshua Williamson is I'm amazed that this is actually as entertaining as it is because he is
Yeah.
spinning a lot of plates over at DC. He's like got 4 or 5. He's doing Dark Crisis, Robin. He's got that Rogues book with the Flash villains going on. He's got
I think this will
this
be over before Dark Crisis starts.
Deathstroke Incorporated. You mean? I
No,
don't.
I'm talking about the Shadow War thing, and then it'll be dropped down to the. Oh
Shadow
yeah,
War. Oh yeah,
yeah,
Shadow War probably. Yeah, but I mean, Deathstroke. I mean, this is an ongoing series, same as Robin. So I
yeah.
mean, he's
It'll
still
probably
writing,
tie into
spinning
the
all
next
these
thing.
plates.
I guarantee
Yeah,
you, Dark Crisis will be a tie into all these books. But
probably. But he's been doing some really interesting things, I think, with Deathstroke. Who actually I was watching. I'll give him a shout out. Wes from Thinking Critical had a video. He came out today basically saying DC's been trying all these weird things with
mhm.
Deathstroke recently. They tried to make him an anti-hero. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What is he? And it seems like, the Shadow War is really kind of, I guess in my words, I would say they're kind of trying to do a course correct with him,
Now
trying to make him bad again.
I want to point out the cover art
Mhm. John
for
Boy
this.
Myers, right?
Yep, yep.
Yep. It's a beautiful cover too. Again, Batman with the yellow behind the bat signal. I love it. But yeah, they're doing some cool stuff with Deathstroke, just in general. Then you got the Shadow War part of it too,
This
which
is Jerome Apina cover art right
which
here.
one's that? Oh, okay, I
Is
like
this
that one
connecting?
with the ninjas. Might it is it?
I don't know.
It'll normally say connecting if it is.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
No, it just says Jerome Apina cardstock variant. It is a cool looking cover. I do like
Yeah.
them with all the ninjas.
I hate the fact that it tries to drop me into I have to go back because for a reason that when you click on covers on this site, it opens up a new page, and or instead of opening a new tab like it's supposed to, it decides, oh, let's do this.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Deathstroke Incorporated, Shadow War. There's some really cool stuff. I don't want to get into spoilers because there is some pretty big ramifications that have been coming out. I was actually just reading up today on like a big spoiler going on in Shadow War right now, and so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I know that you've got a bunch of Shadow War stuff you've been reading, so I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Oh, I know. I'm all caught up on Shadow War.
Okay.
Well, I'm all caught up. I said it's actually. We were talking about this behind the scenes, and I said it comes. There's 2 books, and whenever they always put Deathstroke Inc. and then it goes to Robins, and the Robins every new issue, Robin always gets the better part of the story. Deathstroke sets it up, and then you get the better part in Robin. So it's like I'm only getting Deathstroke Inc. because it's part of the story, but I'm looking forward to Robin again.
I think Robin was definitely, I liked Robin a little bit more than Deathstroke Inc. right from the get-go, like even before Shadow War. I liked Robin a little bit more, just because Damian Wayne, his character, was a lot more interesting than Slade Wilson was at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm really starting to get into what they're doing with the character. Like I said, I think they're trying to steer him back to being just like a bad guy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and that is why it is at number 5, bottom of my top 5 this week.
It's just funny because I actually normally don't buy these books, but I've been getting them just because they're part of the story. Unlike Warfare Earth 3, this series has been phenomenally better.
Well, this is all written by one guy though.
I
Josh
know.
Williamson. It's
the
one cook in the kitchen. He's not like 5 or 6
even
different
just
writers.
having one cook, if it's a bad cook, it ruins the whole entire story.
That is true. But thankfully, Joshua Williamson is like one of the top 3 or 4 writers.
Well, they actually found someone who actually can write and actually knows the characters.
Yeah,
that's the difference,
Yeah, definitely. Which has got me at this weird spot on the fence when it comes to Dark Crisis. Like on the one side, I don't want to, but on the other side, he's writing it, so maybe he does some good out of it. I don't know.
Since I can't see, if Skip pops in and says something in the private chat, let me know. All right.
Yes, MK. I do have. This is actually a new hat I got.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So my number 5. This is Moon Knight 11.
Nice. It feels like it's been a while since we got a.
It is. I think the last one was like a month ago.
Yeah. Is it a
where Batman stuff is like every 2 weeks? Yeah, this feels like it's been like almost 3 months.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time.
But the cover I'm getting is the Sienkiewicz variant.
The Sienkiewicz.
Look at this cover.
That is pretty.
It's a 1 in 25 variant. So I'll be paying a little bit more, but it's worth it.
Look at that. I couldn't tell if that was like New York City or if that was the sidewalk pavement, but yeah, that's pretty.
It looks like cobblestone.
Yeah, cobblestone. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
it looks
London.
pretty.
I don't know.
New York has cobblestone, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great look. I love the way the cape just frames around the top half of it.
and it's just kind of like a rough sketch. It looks like looks like concrete almost. It looks like that when you see how it's been old, weathered.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably just part of Sinkovich's style.
Well, that's how the whole cover guys I feel, but then it really blends in the background stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that he's finally actually like they got like good artists doing covers.
Yeah.
But it's not just on a book that it's crappy. It's actually on a good book.
Yeah. Jed McKay is awesome.
Had this been on any other book that I wasn't reading and care about, I wouldn't care about the art. I wouldn't buy it. I just right click, save as. Then I have it as a background. I'm not obsessed. Like I gotta have it on paper. It's like then you're just buying the book and rip the cover off and burning the book. It's pointless. But anyway, Rob Liefeld's got a variant on here. His is the black and white one right here.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm actually going to be going for. I'm hoping to find that one at the LCS tomorrow. I like that one.
It's the rain stuff, and it actually looks good.
Rain and everything. Yeah, it looks really cool. No feet. I'm on to you, Liefeld.
As soon as I saw though that it had like the Sinkovich, I was like, Sinkovich. Yeah. I was like, dude, that's just as much as I love the rain stuff. I think this would be better if it wasn't on an angle. I'm not a fan of angle art like this.
Yeah,
I turn my head to look at it.
I can kind of see. I think, I can kind of see where you're getting at.
I know. But other than that, it's a good cover. It's a good sketch by Rob Liefeld, who gets a lot of hate for his art. Weirdly, though, he gets a lot of praise though for his behavior, though.
Well, yeah, his doesn't look nearly as swole as his Captain America.
You know what though? A lot of artists start out badly though.
That's true,
and get better. He's the opposite of John Romita.
Oh, I was gonna say just like John Romita Jr. Instead of copying his dad all the time, he became his own artist.
Yeah, he should have stuck to copying his dad. Then this is cool.
I'm the one with the hot takes here.
We got the scroll variant right here.
The scroll variant. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because it got like the new Secret Invasion they're trying to roll out.
I guess so. Maybe based on the TV show.
No, it's a sequel based off the original one.
Also, I want to, since we're talking about Moon Knight here, apparently there's a rumor going out, if it's true or not, Disney Plus cut out a very violent scene out of Moon Knight.
Well,
to make it more family friendly.
They've been doing that with a lot of shows, but normally they end up restoring. Well, no, I think what you're talking about is like a deleted scene, like it never made it into the final.
I didn't make it in. Yeah. So I was
what they've been doing recently is they'll take scenes that are like in the final cut, like they did a Baron Zemo kill scene from Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that they took out the bathroom fight scene with him and the monster as Moon Knight. Trimmed it so short. There's a scene in there that was actually much more violent and stuff. We got to saw more as Moon Knight fighting, but instead, nope, they just cut it down to like 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a shame.
And I was like, oh yeah, it's another reason why I'd rather just buy it on DVD versus just watching it through the stream app. Where I can get the uncensored. I mean, I prefer an uncensored copy.
You know what they'll do is they'll just have it. It's Disney. What do? They have all these things come out later. Yep. They'll call it like limited edition.
Hold on a second. We got a visitor.
There you go.
All right, hold on.
You're getting a behind-the-scenes look at what RDV does through StreamYard.
All right.
The man, the skip, the legend.
How's it going, brother?
Good. How y'all doing? What's up, Twin?
What's up, Twin? How you doing, man?
All right. I just finished up my number 5. Skip, I don't know how many books you have. I know you at least one or two. Can you hear me?
I think I have.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go to your book next.
We'll go to Skip. Yeah. Let's find out what's on Skip's pull list.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Hi, everybody. Hi, chat. It's good to see all y'all in there. I'm pulling up my list right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
And if you want more Skip in these videos, leave a comment after.
Yeah, do that. Comment. Why don't you?
Help the algorithm.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang, I think I literally have 5. Okay.
Right
Nice.
on. Right on.
All right. So let's see. The number 5 book that I'm looking to reading this week is Image number 2.
Ooh.
That's the one you were telling me about backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
TV. Yeah.
yeah. There it is, right here. Yeah. Jeff Johns, but it's also got an ice cream man story in it. I figure that's what you're going for, right?
You knew it. That's right.
Jeff Johns, but as soon as I saw Ice Cream Man story, I was like, "Oh, Skip's getting this."
Oh yeah, you already knew it. Now doesn't hurt to have a Sweet Paprika cover because I did read the first 3 issues of it and I did enjoy it, but I was just trying to pare down on my weekly pull list. So I actually they're still pulling it for me. I just haven't purchased it since, but I'm at the point now where I can purchase the rest of them and read the first arc. But primarily, yes, getting it for W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo's Ice Cream Man short that'll be in there, and then
Scotty Young, man, look at that.
Oh yeah, Scotty Young. I don't really care too much.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, Kyle Higgins.
Yep. Scotty Young. I like Scotty Young on some things, but
Babs Tarr. Wow.
Yeah, Babs Tarr. I think she did something in the first issue. I think.
I'm not sure. I didn't think she was still involved with comic books.
Oh yeah, she's still around. No, she did that. That Nightwing cover with the abs and the big old bulge on it. You remember?
So she did the cover, so she's actually doing interior art. That looks like. So
yes, yep. Nice. She's doing interiors, but yeah, I'll definitely check out the Brendan Fletcher and Babs story as well. I got a chance to meet them and get people. Babs is a friend of a friend.
Actually. Oh, awesome.
Of a friend of a friend.
I do like her art style. The style that she has, it pops. It's very cool. I do enjoy her art style. I wish she did like an ongoing book or something.
It's got Merca and Andolfo, who is writing the current Red Sonja book, which actually sadly is a book I dropped because it became Red Sonja and Adopted Daughter. So, yeah.
Well, you can still read more of her right here in Image Comics, away from all of your Dynamite characters. But yes, so that's my number 5 book.
Oh, it's cool. Great. She's writing Hopeless. Is it a Red Sonja story? Sorry.
Oh, I thought that was that Maria Lovelet and Brian Azzarello story, which that book is not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that.
No, it says Hope was on the cover by Merca and Andolfo, shipped by Kyle Higgins. Then you got Wes Craig's Kaya, the opening installment of a 10-part serial by Patrick.
Oh, nice. I'll definitely read that. I know you'll read that. You love Wes Craig now because you love Deadly Class.
Yep. Sadly, that's ending too. All these books are ending. Oblivion Song, Deadly Class.
Oh yeah, I did read that Oblivion Song is going to be ending soon. I did read.
Well, I've known about that since last year. Our friend of the channel, Ashton Comics, was a little depressed by that. You know,
yeah.
When you finally find something you like, I started reading Deadly Class. I was like, oh, it's great, and like it's ending at 56 or whatever, 55. You know, it's like, oh, you freaking kidding me?
Wah, wah, wah.
I got on it towards the end. I like getting on books when you can just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but unfortunately, I got to go back and read them. You know, and they're awesome books. But I check them out.
If you enjoy ongoing series and indies, all like Rick Remender and Kirkman or anything from Skybound, from Kirkman Skybound, because those books go on for forever.
Heck yeah! Look at The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, The Walking Dead actually,
even when it ends, it comes back in color. Look, when when Firepower ends, you know, heaven forbid that day comes soon. But if it does, watch, they're just gonna re-release it in like black and white.
They're
gonna do a reverse of what they did with The Walking Dead.
What is Erica Henderson working on? Oh yeah, Brendan Fleck, Red Stitch is Erica Henderson. That's the Squirrel Girl, isn't it?
Maybe. I have no
idea. Is it? I think it's so. Breen would know. He's traumatized by that comic book.
I thought that was
Invincible Squirrel Girl. What it was?
No, I thought that was the guy that's writing the new
Unbeatable.
Secret War. Unbeatable. Yeah, I thought it was.
I thought it was the artist, not the writer.
The artist. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Welcome to everyone to the live stream with RDV, Zach, and Skip Tosh discussing their top 5 comic books on their pull list. Oh, we got some new people in here before.
Right on.
Welcome.
Not really new. It's just people who haven't been showing up or quiet, which I appreciate. I mean, I've noticed that we were growing a lot more, and as far as views, I'm really thankful for that because this channel was struggling a little bit.
I know. I was gone for a few days. Y'all missed the face. I know.
No, it's not that. As soon as we brought Skip on and Breen,
You see how quickly he shoots me down. Like, no, it's not you at all. You're not the reason.
RDB.
Never change.
all right. So Zach, let's go to your number 4.
My number 4, it's a new one. I actually just am getting into this series. But it's at a brand new. It's like at a good jumping on place. I guess I haven't read this newest issue, but it seems like it's a good jumping on place. Task Force Z number 8. I did not get into this when it first came out. I thought it was just going to be like a 4-issue, 6-issue miniseries, and then it'd be done with. But no, it's still going on at issue number 8, and it looks like an ongoing.
How far down is it? Did I pass it up?
It shouldn't be that far down. It's one of the big 2, so it's normally up there at the top.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look, see where it is.
It's the one with. It's right there. It's right there. Stop.
Right here. Okay,
right next to Robin. Yeah, right next to Robin. Yeah, there you go.
There's so many of them. They have these weird font stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, I decided to get into this one. It's Red Hood. I do like Red Hood. I like Jason Todd as a character, and he leads a bunch of undead. It's like an undead Suicide Squad zombie type deal. It's a pretty fun little cover. He's got all the different like rag dolls.
It's got Kate Kane and it looks like Stephanie with red hair.
It'd be Barbara, wouldn't it?
Barbara, hair? Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah.
But yeah, really wild series actually. Like I said, I've been getting caught up with it online, and it looks like issue number 8. There's going to be like a brand new team, kind of like the Suicide Squad, at least like the newer Suicide Squads, where like the old members get swapped out for the new members.
So this is Rosenberg. Okay, now it makes sense because Rosenberg was writing the backup stories, and it was which basically led to Task Force Z. He was writing with Mariko Tamaki. He was in the back issues of Detective Comics.
Yep.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, and this title launched at the same time as the DC versus Vampires series that he is also writing.
Yeah,
they launched at about the same time. So at the time I put all my focus on the DC versus Vampires story.
Oh
and
no!
This one kind of slipped by, but
this one has Mr. Bloom in it.
Mr. Bloom,
created by Skip's favorite guy, Snot Snyder.
Snot Rider.
Hey, we don't disrespect Scott Snyder. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's got their likes and their dislikes of writers.
I just cringe because I remember reading the last 2 volumes of Batman New 52. And
hey, listen. I remember thinking Onomatopoeia was a dumb villain, and now I love Onomatopoeia. I think he's quirky and creepy and cool.
You gotta go pee. Go ahead. Don't just say that. That's a weird name.
Onomatopoeia. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Onomatopoeia.
Anyway, it's zombies. It's DC. It looks just like a fun entertain. It's like, this is the equivalent of like a Fast and Furious movie for me. I'm not expecting anything deep out of it, but it's wild. It's fun. Maybe there'll be some kind of shock factor to it, but other than that, it looks like it's going to be an entertaining story.
I like it in the Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of the Batman Beyond.
Yeah, kind of like that, and also kind of like what they're wearing in The Walking Dead right now.
Oh yeah, they do have those Stormtrooper suits in The Walking Dead.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, with zombies, you'd wear plastic armor over it so they can't bite and resistance. Riot gear.
That is very true. But yeah, this one also, Jesus Marino is one of the artists on this too. I like Jesus Marino's artwork a lot. Wherever I can see it, he has a really distinct arts. Well, maybe not distinct, but he's got a really familiar. Man-Bat is in this. Yes, that's actually dead? Really. I don't know if he's dead or not. It doesn't say on this.
I'm trying to remember who the zombies are.
It's a brand new team starting in issue number 8. Like Jason Todd is still on there, but
it's Cassandra Cain. It's on here. We got Tim Drake.
Yep, we got all the Robins.
We got Rick Grayson, Abigail O'Shea, who's Madam Crow, Two-Face, Solomon Grundy.
Obvious choice, Solomon.
Well, Grundy's always been a zombie,
Right?
That's why
I say obvious choice. But But yeah, no. So this is number 4. Hoping for a good time. We'll see if it makes the list on Thursday.
Hopefully it does.
I do like that Man Bat cover though. It's got kind of like a Disney
Doesn't it?
stylistic. Yeah, it's like
it's like evil Pixar.
it reminds me of the wolves from Beauty and the Beast. Like, have you ever seen those wolves? Look like creepy AF. But yeah,
yeah,
I do like that cover though. So
yeah, right on. I like Matthew Rosenberg's indie work, and Jason Todd is my favorite Bat Family member. So
nice.
He's actually I think Rosenberg's writing DC versus Vampires one shot with Robin.
Well, it's not a one. Yeah, there is a one shot coming out. He's also writing like the whole story. So each month there's a new issue. He's one of the writers. It's him and James Tynion or Tynion, however he pronounces it.
You've heard it both ways.
I've heard it all ways. But yeah, I think he's like, yeah, they're the two writers on the whole DC vampire thing. So.
Well, I'm gonna go. Since we were talking about some Kirkman books and all stuff before, the next book on my list is actually has Ryan Ottley from Invincible. Worked with Kirkman, and I couldn't pass this up because I read the other one, Thor, from last week. Giant Hulkbuster, planet-size Iron Man versus Thor and Hulk. On a giant freaking floating celestial hand, a battle arena in space. This is Ragnarok on crack. So literally, it's like
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They have intergalactic gladiator battles on this giant floating hand. It's just like, oh my gosh, like this is so far out there. It's like I'm just waiting for Star-Lord to show up. I forget who wrote the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was when they had Tony in space with the space armor.
Nope, that was Bendis.
Was that Bendis?
That was Bendis. Yep, that's actually my second favorite run. That was my first run that I
never read it, but from when I saw of it, it looked kind of fun, and I was like, wow,
it really wasn't that bad. I know Bendis gets. I mean, we make fun of Bendis a lot.
This is why I didn't realize it was Bendis. I'm like, wow, it looks good, and it's like, wow, because everybody shits on Bendis for what he did to Superman, but you don't forget that he actually can write some books.
He did good with Guardians. He gave them more when he was on Guardians. I think he gave them more of like a Serenity Firefly type of vibe. Whereas if you read like Abnett and Lanning, it's much more epic and more Star Wars.
Marania read the last one. She saw how Cates writes Thor and Iron Man, and it's in character.
Yeah.
And wow, like I said, when Tony wants revenge for what the Hulk did to him, kind of embarrassed him. So it's like Tony, they're having a meeting in Avengers, the last issue in Thor, and like what they should do, and Cap's like, you're not really in the Iron Man suit, are you? He's like, am I ever really? I don't go to these meetings ever. He launches off in his giant robot, his Iron Man armor that he was working on in the very first issue, I believe.
No, the Iron Man armor that he has in the Thor issue is back from King in Black. Because yeah, it's from King in Black. Remember when Tony has that giant celestial thing that Null takes over, I guess?
It was a dragon thing, yeah.
Yeah, remember, Donny Cates, like him or hate him, he's really great about having these connecting pieces across all of his stories and arcs that he does. Yep. So that's one of the things that I like about him is
look at the size stuff. Look at the size of that hand. Look how puny the Hulk is. If you haven't been reading this, following along, the Hulk has been entrapped in like the engine room of this starship thing, and every time he raises the level of rage, like he gets to fight more big things. And one of the things was a giant Wolverine and a giant Iron Man he was going against. So it's kind of cool. I've been looking forward to this. Celestial Hulkbuster, freaking awesome. It's just and then the fact you have Ryan Ottley, drawing this, who drew Invincible. If you haven't checked out Invincible, I'm just gonna let you know there's a lot of gore in it.
And now Ryan Ottley is not. Ryan Ottley is not drawing in this issue.
I know, which sucks. Okay. I would love to see this because, you're going to see the destruction and stuff. That's my one bad thing. I was like, oh, really? Cover artist Gary Frank did this.
Yeah, Gary Frank, he does do some.
Now awesome. This is the Luba variant, which is kind of cool. The 125 variant. This has other characters on there.
Yeah, that's the supporting cast one. That one's all right.
Here's your Warriors 3. Keep on asking for them.
I do keep asking for them. And
Lady
Lady
Sif.
Sif. You got Lady Sif on there too.
Sif
But then they also
versus-
got what they did to Betty Ross, where they gave her wings and they made her a bird. It's like, come on now.
She-Hulk is on
She-Hulk.
there. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know who the other Jolly Green
Scar was
Giant
supposed to be
is.
one of them. Wasn't Scar supposed to be one of these?
I think Scar might be. Is Scar not the one on the bottom?
It looks weird though. I remember I had one of these weird things on there beside, but
Yeah, I don't know. That's
like I said, it's been kind of cool seeing the actually
the Shaw cover, the Shaw connecting cover variant. That's the really cool, because that's like I think it's like a 90s themed, because I think it's Hulk with a giant gun, and he looks like Professor Hulk, but and Thor has got very 90s looking.
And
armor.
yes, and I Eric likes to point this out. Kate writes him like Robert Downey Jr. because this is what Robert Downey Jr. would have done.
Well, that's what everybody who writes Iron Man tries to write him like that.
He's been written that way since as far as I started reading comics, 2003. You know, they've been kind of writing Tony that way. Even in the cartoons, Tony makes up his mind. He doesn't wait for a group census because he's a know-it-all. So either you love it or you hate it. You know, I wish we still had Tony Stark, in the movies, but all right. So that's my number 4. Wow, can you only imagine what my number 3 book's gonna be?
I'm not doing guesses this week. I'm not playing the guessing game. I can guess his number 1. I can't guess that, but that's cheating because
You're good when it gets to like his number 1 and number 2.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I out of good sportsmanship, I won't do that because it's too easy this week.
Out of poor sportsmanship, I could just switch my number 1. And I tell you.
Oh, that'd be rude.
I guess it's Skip's turn. Are we going to Department of Truth?
We are not. We're gonna go. Number 4 book is going to be Spectro from Aftershock Comics.
Someone is other than me was looking at that.
Yeah,
right on. I like a good Aftershock book every now and then.
Definitely.
I saw that. It's got a little bit of cheesecake, a little bit of 80s vibe.
Yes, got some 80s vibe, horror vibes. I don't remember reading anything from Juan Doe, aka John Doe, before.
Right, I was gonna say John Doe. It says, the little write up here. Let's say here says, explores the unnerving spectrum of fear through the 4 terrifying stories rooted in a cosmic. Also, it's an anthology thing, like a creepy almost. Twisted Karma and Phantasmagoric. Ooh. Terror. What is it? Stakes? Sentient technology manipulates a man with projections of his desired self. What are the consequences of excommunicating a member of the 9 planets? Hey, there's only
Pluto.
8.
Oh, Pluto.
Isn't there only 8? What is discovered? An explorer travels to Mars to ascend the tallest mountain in the solar system. Really? We do that? Wow. I guess there would be. I don't know. I can't finish climbing.
Didn't they just discover a doorway on Mars like last week? This seems really. Is it a coincidence?
I just remember a couple of years ago they had the face on Mars. People were freaking out. Oh, there's a face on Mars.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then the last one, it says, what happens when a scientist aboard an international space station is confronted with the most horrifying aspects of humankind? His His Wi-Fi's gone.
Interesting. Sounds like Sounds like a Black Mirror, but in space, kind of.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's kind of like what got me interested. I'm interested in horror comics, so that kind of got me. The 80s vibe thing got me, and then horrific things happening in space, whether it's like Event Horizon or
here's his one
2001: A Space Odyssey. Like all of those things kind of get me interested, and it is in the prestige format. Aftershock has not let me down as far as the quality of their books, whether it's story, whether it's like the paper and all that other stuff. So I want to continue to support them and give this a shot, because I did have a slot opened, in my weekly pool. So going to give it a shot.
So this is the 1 in 10 variant. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Pixel was here. He'd get this. That's got some big Doctor Who vibes. That reminds me of the.
Oh yeah, the astronaut.
The library, where they're wearing
they're
the
not really
spacesuits.
alive. They're just
They turn
yeah.
around like the skull inside. Yeah, that's
It was
actually
the
really cool.
memory. Their souls are trapped inside the program. So it's like they
because they get eaten by like the bugs or whatever.
nanites.
I think that was the episode. Yeah, like nanites.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've seen that one. That was a good episode though.
there's a virgin variant, and then there's a title. Here, let's see what this one is. This Nat Daddy.
Oh, that's cool.
Ah,
I like that.
Pretty cool.
It's got that creepy, eerie vibe, those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I really enjoyed that series from Scout or Black Caravan, who's an imprint of Scout. They did Tales Told in Techno Horror, and it was kind of a similar thing. It even had like the same, like a spectrum of colors in the title, but unfortunately, you can't always count on titles from Black Caravan. They will not complete a series, or all of a sudden give you 2 issues or 1 issue, or say it's supposed to come out, and then like it keeps getting pushed back, and eventually you just don't even see it like on the list anymore. But Aftershock is very consistent. They don't do that, so this will have to be my replacement for Tales Told in Techno Horror.
What's funny?
Series
This cover
2.
here. I'm looking at these monsters. This is what you'd see in like the real Ghostbusters comic books back in the day, or some of the new ones today. Like it's cartoonish ghouls. That's what it looks like.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my number 4 book.
Ooh, all right. I have an idea what some books might be on your pull list. I'm not sure what order they're in though.
I know RDV's got his finger on the pulse of the indie books coming out this week.
Yeah, I was looking at some of them. Like I said, that like some of them actually look interesting. And like I said, there's a I know you're really into the Department of Truth, so I'll be shocked if it's not in your top 5. All right, so Zach, let's go to your number. I believe number 3 now.
Number 3, guys, I'm actually getting a Batman book.
Oh wow!
I never buy Batman books, and now I actually get 2, but this is like a new number 1. Batman Fortress number 1. I heard about this when they launched the solicit like a month or 2 ago, and sounded really cool at the time. And I'm looking forward to it. It's written by Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One, the Star Wars spinoff, which was an excellent movie. Art is by Derek Robertson and Diego Rodriguez. I haven't seen his artwork on too many things, but I kind of looked up his artwork. It looks pretty cool, but the synopsis is really, really neat sounding. So
yeah, it's supposed to be like Superman's missing and an alien invasion is happening on Earth, and it's this Batman by himself.
Yeah, so Batman's by himself. There's no Superman around.
There's no Justice League.
There's no Justice League, yeah, apparently. So it's Batman, first he has to take care of Gotham, and then it's like, okay, then he has to find a way to help the world. So, yeah, it looks really interesting. The premise sounds really cool. It's rare that I actually get excited about a Batman book. Batman's just, to me, he's one of those overused characters like Deadpool, or it's like, I'm not too interested. But this one, I mean, the plot actually does sound really interesting. So I like that cover too, where it's like the cityscape is
by
part of the face.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that.
Derek Robertson is doing the art, and also has a variant cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one gave me like some Michael Keaton vibes, kind of.
It's got that animated series / like like the movie stuff.
Little bit, yeah, a little of the Tim Burton touch, yeah. So
weird grappling gun again. I still love the design from the animated series.
The one that looks like a taser.
Yeah, it's just so great. It's like...
But yeah, but Rhaegar, no, Rogue One is the spinoff that I was talking about. That's who the writer.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Yeah, well, yeah, that was a really good spinoff. I mean, they both were. Rogue One and Solo were both good movies, but Rogue One was especially good. So I've, going into this with some expectations. Oh, Derek Robertson, it says right here in the solicit, he did art for The Boys. I've never read The Boys, so
I told you it's like he's the artist from The Boys. So
yeah, I've never read The Boys. I don't watch the show.
The Boys had decent art. It kind of grew on me. But it was more
dark
the
for
writing
me.
what really captured it for the story for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to give this one a shot though. So yeah, that is my
Get
numero 3.
Penguin and the Joker in this issue.
Oh God, the Joker too. Oh God, I
Oswald
can't
Cobblepot.
handle the Joker.
Like they don't even like say like I would like they list him as his name like he's Penguin. Why are they calling him that?
Yeah.
It's,
That's what it is.
well, look at it this way. It's an Elseworld story. So
yeah, it's an Elseworld.
So don't have to worry about it. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. It's
Yeah.
probably a limited 10 issue. Yeah.
Cool.
Batman must rally the rest of the Justice League to counter the alien threat, but first he must quell a crime in the blacked out streets of Gotham.
Yeah, that part. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
All right. So let's go to my number 3. Let's see where it is. Here it is. Robin Deathstroke terminated. This I saw the write up for this, and I was like, Robin knows the truth behind Roswell's Guild deaths and races to stop the Shadow War. So it's like Robin just being like gung ho straight away. It's all out craziness. You got Batman Inc. in here, going against Deathstroke and everything else, Talia, and like I said, there's some new characters popping in here, like people I've never even heard of. They're just popping out of the woodworks. I never read the Grant Morrison run as far as Batman Inc., but I saw a little bit of it, the Batman Inc. in one of the Batman issues before this, with the Williamson writing. Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the new costume with Damian, but I'm glad he kind of stands out. He's not a red or green.
I kind of like it's growing on me.
It's like he joined the Imperial Army.
Well, it's like Damian and Tim Drake. Their Robin outfits were really, really similar. So I like that this kind of gives him his own style, because all the Robins have a different style,
I like the fact that he wore the original Robin costume, and he's like, I make this. It's an insult to everybody else. He's like, I'm better than all of you. I'm still wearing the costume.
Yeah.
So, this gets continued from number 9, and then it's going to continue into Shadow War Omega, which I'm not sure who's going to be. I think it's going to be. Hopefully, it's Williamson writing that.
I'm sure. I mean, Williamson started Robin, so
yeah,
no reason to think he'd be getting off it anytime soon.
Angel Breaker's in here. She was in there last year, and I wonder if they'll have Black Canary continue over.
They got a lot of characters in that one.
I know.
Holy cow! Oh,
Mad
wow.
Dog. I know, right?
Yeah.
Dark Ranger. I don't know who the hell that is. John Riley. You got Detonator, Count Vertigo, Phobia.
Prometheus. I remember.
Yep.
Prometheus.
Respawn, who we found out who actually is the clone version of Damian. They cloned him. And
what? DC cloned us? Oh no! How original.
Get this though. He's basically like a ripoff of Connor.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying
they took Talia's DNA and Deathstroke's DNA.
Talia and Deathstroke, yeah.
And if they had a child, instead of them, they could have just had them sleep together, like normal. But nope.
I liked it when it was Connor. I liked the story when it was Connor Kent.
Like I said, it's been here's the
20 years ago.
Here's actually this might be Connor Arrow. Yeah.
Oh, that's Connor Hawk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Connor Hawk. Yeah, from Arrow. Yeah. AAPI Heritage Month.
Yeah, it's the what is it? Asian Pacific Awareness or something like that, or Awareness Asian Pacific Island, something like that.
I thought it was a Mariko Tamaki cover.
It reminds me of there was an old Marvel book. I don't know how old it was, but it was like Daredevil and Luke Cage just sitting on a building eating hot dogs.
Like every time I see this, I want to go and just have some ramen.
I'm about to say ramen sounds really good right now. Actually, I'm gonna have to go get some ramen tomorrow.
But Roger Cruz is doing the art on this. I'm not sure if he did art before on Omar Robin or if it was a different artist for the series. Dan Schoening has a variant cover too. Dan Schoening, who's worked on for IDW, worked for Ghostbusters and stuff. So his cover is actually the one here, the one that's 25, and this looks like almost like an epic. So
it's kind of cool. I kind of like that. The shadows and everything.
Yep.
Deathstroke looks pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. They used Cobblepot name in the movies. Yeah, they didn't call him Penguin.
Yeah, that's right. They did have him waddle. That was one of my favorite scenes. He's like zip tied in the movie. And he has to waddle off. I was laughing. That was a great scene.
That was perfect.
All right. Let's go on to Skip.
My number 3 book for this week is, I'm gonna go with
Something is killing children.
no.
I know. It's there's so
Definitely
many
not going
idiots.
with that book. I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't. I don't know. That was like, I mean, well, on that note, oddly enough, yeah, I'm gonna go with number 3, The Department of Truth. Another book written by James Tynion, because when did this guy sleep? Right, he's writing like 17 books.
I know.
Like-
what is it with these guys? It's like they put out all these like
Well, I
all
think
of
it
these
is.
guys. They put out multiple books a month. It's like, geez.
I think it
guys.
is. As soon as he got out of DC and
Crazy.
started doing a lot of his own stuff for Substack stuff, it's like they're putting more of their own stuff. He's got this is for Image.
Well, think about this. Even when he was at DC, he still had out Wind. He had
Yeah.
Something is Killing the Children. He had Department of Truth out. Like, he had all of that stuff going on, and he had his Razor Blades horror magazine. He had all that going on while he was at DC. That dude is he's just crazy. But I'm excited about this issue of Department of Truth, issue 18 right now. You were looking at the Todd McFarlane. No, I don't give a damn about Todd McFarlane. I am
2100.
I am not a Todd McFarlane. I'm not a Todd McFarlane art fan. I am a Todd McFarlane businessman fan, and I love his interviews and his insight. I'm a fan of him in that sense. I've never really been a huge fan of his art. When I was younger, I really liked Spawn, and I did buy like a lot of the Spawn toys and stuff like that. But I've never been a big fan of his art. And these days, his art is even more lacking. So
And
I
if you have those still inside their boxes, didn't play the toys, they're worth money.
I don't. I was a kid. I played with my toys.
I'm about to say there is no kid.
Every time I go into comic book stores and I see the old toys from like the 90s and stuff, and like and people have Spawn stuff, and it's like, and they're like 60 to 100 bucks depending what it is.
That's crazy. There's only one toy that I know I still have in the box, but I just don't know where it is. And it was a
it's gone.
It was a model of Captain Marvel, Marvel. That's the only one that I know for sure that I still have in the box. And if I had it, I wouldn't sell it because the death of Captain Marvel is my favorite. Comic
and that's the thing. The thing about that is like, even if you don't sell it, it's like, man, if you ever go down the line, you need to sell it. I don't think it's never going to be not valuable.
Yeah,
the older it is, the rarer it is,
Yeah,
and if you have it in mint condition, it's nice little nursery egg for some of these books. Some of the older stuff.
Right. It's I could sell that and pay for comics for a few months. That's true.
There you go.
Or rent or food, man. Gas.
yeah, depending on how much is worth. That's true.
But gas, I don't know. But
not right now. Gas it might pay for half a tank at this point. I got an economy car, but I'm excited about this issue because it starts a new story arc, and also Martin Simons, who is the main artist, he's returning to the book. So he has a very like in-depth process. Like, I know he's a painter, and I know he was also like a graffiti artist. So the way that he like approaches doing the art is very much from like a street artist perspective. He doesn't really approach it like a comic book artist, churning out monthly books perspective. So many times he had to have like fill-in artists come in on the series. But what was cool is whenever Tynion knew that was the case, because he's so fast and he like never sleeps, he was always able to he would it's like a secondary series of the book where he would go and give you backstories of the characters that are involved, so you understood more of how they arrived at the Department of Truth, and while they were there, like what turned them into the characters that they are at the Department of Truth. So it was really cool to have those, and all of the fill-in artists like were really great. I mean, Jorge Forniers came in, like so many different people. Tyler Boss came in, who is popular for working with Matthew Rosenberg on Four Kids Walk Into a Bank and that series, What's the Farthest Place from Here, that's currently going on. But to have Martin Simons come back, to have his sketchy, scritchy, like street art style, come back, is going to be awesome. And they're starting a new story arc. So I'm excited to see where they take the main character Cole from here, because the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was a huge fan of conspiracy theories, probably about for the last 20 years, probably about since I was 11. So it's cool to see like all the things that I've learned and from conspiracy theories, from doing my own, research on just like the occult and stuff that I'm just like interested in, to see how James Tynion ties it in here. So the script isn't always the tightest and it isn't always the best. And he does use tons of characters just for exposition. But if you're into conspiracy theories, then this book is perfect for that, because he just lays it out really, really well, really, really cool. And then he always has a pretty good cliffhanger of where they're going to go next.
Well, it's good that you can become paranoid wearing a tinfoil hat.
Oh no, there's literally a character in there that wears a tinfoil hat. Yeah. And but what's cool, one of my favorite stories is the story of when you find out why he wears the tinfoil hat. And he's like that character, I forget his name, but he is like the most knowledgeable person in the Department of Truth. And that's kind of like the whole counterbalance thing. Because I remember when he first got introduced, they're like, "Oh, you're the like the main data guy. Like, why are you? But you're wearing a tinfoil hat. That's kind of weird. Like, you should know that you don't need it." And they were like, he was like, "If you only knew what I know, everyone would wear one." And I was like, I like that.
Is it because he thinks he's got a chip in his head?
No, I think it would fry in there. No, I will say it does have to. The reason why he wears a tinfoil hat has to do with the Men in Black. I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Point out that Martin Simons does this cover. It's the variant, which is kind of funny because he has this cover, which is the Russian, I think this supposed to be Stalin.
Stalin,
yeah.
And then he has the American cover, the main cover.
Yes.
I was like, he's got both.
Yeah.
Yep. Secret war against the Soviet counterpart, the Ministry of Lies.
Yeah, that's like they just got introduced. I want to say I guess kind of technically no, it was only 2 issues back, because they tackled the moon landing. And
okay.
Yeah, and in the midst of doing that, he was kind of, finding out oh yeah, we need to get this department off of the ground, because we found out that our Russian counterparts, our Soviet counterparts, have their own department. And that's when they're like, oh yeah, okay. Like Reagan was
I just think I just like both those covers, without even telling the story, if you don't know what it is, it looks like someone just
Nixon,
took like clippings and put them together,
Yeah. And that's what I said. Like, it's
kind
a
of that shredded kind of. Yeah, it's like it's like anytime you see like in a movie or something, they're shredding papers and then you try to piece it together. I mean, that is pretty cool. I do like that.
If you follow him, he'll show like his process sometimes. So what you end up like seeing versus like what you see after, it's pretty in depth. I follow a lot of artists on YouTube, on social media, a lot of colorists and stuff like that, and he definitely has one of the most in-depth processes. And I'm friends with a lot of graffiti artists and street artists, so that's why I said,
was gonna say this looks like graffiti art.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like he's like because most, well, I don't want to say most, but a good amount of like modern day like graffiti artists kind of turn to street art, where it's like graffiti, but they mix it with like a lot of other different like types of art to kind of make it more than that. And this guy his process literally looks like I'm sitting there and I'm watching the people that create street art like kind of make it. So it's really cool. He does all the covers. He's a really interesting artist. I really like him.
Chris Sheehan does this incentive cover here.
And shout out to Nalo. Oh yeah, the lady in red. Of course, she's
what's that Illuminati
herself. Dude, heck, yes, bro. That's what I'm saying. All of that stuff is in this book. Illuminati, Aleister Crowley, and the Church of Satan, like all of that stuff. L. Ron Hubbard, all of it is connected in here.
I was like the Men in Black, and I always thought they should have said like in the tabloids. Everything you see in the tabloids is actually leaked. It's real. Man, that would have been great if they would have dropped that.
Well, that's what they did. That's what they did in the movies, though, right? Tommy Lee Jones
Yes.
goes and buys like the tabloid papers.
Yeah.
He's like,
The
"This is
Sun.
the only news that you should be reading."
I loved that. I loved that. That was
Man,
so good.
but yeah, the Bat Boy is real.
Yeah, right.
They want you to know he's an alien.
hey, the man bat makes an appearance too.
And I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist myself, but like I said, when I see the political stuff in there, sometimes I wonder, is this really true? I have an article about Hillary Clinton. Did they make people disappear? We don't know.
That's that. I'm interested in that stuff as well. That's part of why I read this. And I will say, like, I'm pretty sure James Tynion is pretty left leaning, and that's kind of what concerned me about it, because I didn't feel like it would be down the middle enough. He is fairly impartial with most of this
That's
stuff.
because I would think they like
Okay.
yeah, that's the one thing. Because if somebody is left leaning, so they put their crap into the book. I don't care if you're right leaning or left leaning. Be non-biased,
Yeah. He's fairly unbiased in here.
That's good,
and he puts a lot of characters in there that like do a lot of things that that you wouldn't think that someone like James Tynion would allow, but he lets it rip in this book, and that's why I'm like, I love it.
Yes, Rager, it's true. We almost had a Department of Truth. We had a Ministry of Truth or a Ministry of Lies. Take your pick.
Shout out to Nalo for turning me on to this book, by the way. But yeah, that's my number 3 pick.
Shout out for Nalo for turning you on.
Yes, thank you, Nalo.
Hey.
Thank you, Nalo.
Do you like Rawhide?
No.
Dude,
on air. We don't need to visit that rabbit hole.
No, I'm good. I'm not even going to talk about how I almost bought one of those comics off of eBay recently.
It's I don't judge you. We like what you like. Just don't do it in front of the children. We're fine, okay?
Yeah, I will keep all of that away from the children. I'll keep it away from myself because I ended up not buying it. Anyway, who's next up?
It should be Zach again.
I believe it is. My number. Are we on 2?
I think we're in 2 because I did. Yeah.
Okay. So my number 2 is a one-shot this week, and it is DC versus Vampire Hunters #1 with the beautiful John Boy Myers cover.
Yes, I'm very happy that DC still employs this man after he quit the Teen Titans.
His team, yeah, he was doing Teen Titans. It was,
and they kept rejecting his designs, and he wanted to pay respect to the proper Starfire design that was by Perez. And they said, no, we don't want it to look like this. So he just said, screw this. I'm not going to keep catering, making it look
out. Yeah. But yeah, he's got, the beautiful cover right here. So this is the one shot. This is a one and done story focusing on Damian Wayne.
With Neil Goog.
Goog.
I forgot the L for his last name, the artist.
Yeah. Goog. But again, Matthew Rosenberg writing this. Like I said, he's one of the architect writers behind the whole DC versus Vampire story.
It kind of set me back when I heard it was Rosenberg, but you know what? I'll give it a shot because
given what's recently happened in the main story, the main DC versus Vampires, they had some developments that happened. Everything kind of came to a head, and a lot of crazy stuff went down. And so, ideally, I believe this picks up right after that.
It's hard to tell because I thought Damian was bit.
No.
In 6.
No, I don't think so.
I have to go reread it again.
No, I'm not going to say who was and who wasn't, but Damian is one of the ones who gets out alive, and this is where he's going to pretty much. It looks like he's about to go all Blade or Van Helsing on a bunch of vampires. And his typical, I'm Damian Wayne, raised by League of Assassins.
He wants vengeance. This is I guess it's a major spoiler. It's been out for a while though. It follows suit what Tom Taylor did. Batman's dead.
Not quite what Tom Taylor did. Well, unless you're talking Deceased.
Deceased, yeah. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
Batman's dead in this. So Damian,
But Batman didn't die at like issue 2, like in Deceased. He
No,
got away. He
no.
got all the way up to issue number
that's
6.
why I was kind of let down for the DC versus Vampire series because it's like, oh, great. Now we're just every miniseries, Elseworlds.
But at least in this one, it made like I can see Batman being taken out. At least this way, the way the story's been written, it makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, when you find out like who the vampires are and everything,
You find out who the Vampire King is. It's like, really?
Yeah.
But look at this cover, throwback cover.
That's not bad. I actually kind of like that. The throwback reminds me of like the Chuck Dixon Robin books.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's approved by the Authority Comics.
Oh, how about that?
But not, yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to this. It's a one shot. I normally don't go too much for the tie-ins to event books because you got to get like 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
This is a one shot though. I think personally, if you're gonna do an event and then you're gonna do tie-ins to that event, you should keep it to maybe 1 or 2 issues, not just have like I remember the big huge Marvel events like Avengers versus X-Men was the last one that I really went in full stop on, and like the tie-ins would just go on for like 5, 6.
We have Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. We have Alfred Pennyworth.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say Pennywise. I don't know why. It's part of my head.
No, Pennyworth. Yeah, I'm actually kind of bummed. Otto Schmidt is not doing the interior art for this. He's been doing the interior art for the main series, which has been awesome.
When did Cassandra Cain change her name to Orphan? Is it only for this series?
Well, she's not Batgirl anymore since Barbara Gordon's Batgirl again.
Well, she's in Batgirls. She's Batgirls. And isn't she still labeled as Batgirl?
This is an Elseworld stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a big Cassandra Cain fan anyway. I'm more
really.
I like Stephanie Brown as Batgirl.
Sense.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stephanie Brown was a little bit more fun.
Of course, you like the
She doesn't talk. She doesn't talk at all. It's
I thought this comic was a little bit too dark for you anyway, so it makes sense.
Whatever. I'm not gonna entertain this joke. Anyway, this is my number 2 pick. Trying to think of what else there is to say. $4. Hey, good on you, DC, for not charging me $5 or $6 for a one shot. Good on you for that. So, but yeah,
$4 for the normal cover by John Boy Myers, which I think is a little better cover.
Also, Grodd is in this book, so support your local guerrilla comic.
Vampire Grodd.
Vampire Grodd. Come on.
That's
you can't get cooler than that. And also John Constantine.
John Constantine.
He's becoming another one of those overused characters.
In this, he's not your typical John Constantine. I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of like a weird version of him. Where in DC, he was more Matt Ryan, kind of like, your Constantine, the con artist. This is kind of like more of a serious one.
Yeah. I dig it though. I would actually prefer to see him written more seriously. I don't like this new, I guess it's like Eric Breen's issue with Iron Man, where like now he's written like he's Robert Downey Jr. I don't care too much for this Constantine, where like every joke is some snarky, backhanded British remark with a cuss word. Like I could actually probably like the character if he was a little bit more serious.
Well,
a little bit more.
I would say if you want the better version of Constantine, go to Vertigo. Read Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Read the Paul Jenkins run, which followed
You're really on a Garth Ennis kick. Just like the second or third time tonight, you've been like,
honestly, I've been going every time I go back and read a series that was written by Garth Ennis first, and I read the series afterwards. You can see the level of writing quality goes down. It gets tamed, like censored almost.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I read Jennifer Blood, so he did that, and then you had Stephen Grant, the guy that created the Punisher, writing afterwards, and it kind of wasn't as it kept the same tone, but then you go into the next writer, it's like, what happened? It's like you can truly tell it's night and day. As far as like the person, it's a different tone. And I if you're gonna have a serious role like this, you gotta stick with the actual tone. You can't change it. You can't MCU it, make it campy like they did with Justice League. Remember, it was 2 different tones.
Between the Whedon cut.
If I start with Snyder, I want to finish with Snyder. I don't want to have weird, campy stuff, lighter tone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I said, it's just the way it is. It's hard for me to get into Punisher books that aren't written by Stephen Grant or Garth Ennis.
Cool.
But anyway, Yeah, I'll be picking this up. It's not in my top 5. I was limited, and plus we wanted to shake it up a little bit. I
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
this would-
We didn't want to do too much overlap for y'all tonight. I know the past few weeks there's been
we were
like
looking at like we're like almost every book was the same. We're like, oh, we'll just keep it on this page.
Thankfully, this is actually a bit. I'm shocked. Normally, like the past 2 or 3 weeks, my
Yeah.
pull lists have been like 5 books. They've been kind of scant and kind of light.
Yep.
So now I've got like 11 books I'm looking at for tomorrow.
And then thanks to Skip coming on, we have a little bit more
more indie representation.
more indie stuff. Yep.
It's a light indie week for me this week.
All right.
By light, I mean non-existent. I have no indie books in my top 5. I'm so ashamed.
I know what Skip's number 1 is.
I don't
Yes,
know.
you do.
Oh, we're on number 2.
They're on number 2 right now.
Yeah.
I'm a mark. It's easy to know what my number 1 is. Stevie Wonder could see what my number 1 is. but my number 2.
This is my number 2 here, and it's Jim
your
Zub.
number 2.
Not a big fan of Jim Zub, but Zdarsky's still on here writing. So it looks like we were gonna have maybe some backup stories here. And like I said, it's kind of bad because I don't have Chichetto on here, or Chichito, as Evil Black Cat says.
Chichito.
Marco Chichito.
Yeah, no Chichito. Yeah, you got Luciano Vecchio though.
Yep. Rafael De La Torre.
Yeah. You got some
Okay,
solid
yeah.
artists. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this is gonna be the wrapping it up for this story.
Mhm.
Which is gonna lead into the Daredevil number 1.
Yeah, the new Daredevil number 1, right?
So, and I said, I want to know, this is the issue right here. It's gonna tell me, is she gonna go back to being Elektra, or is she gonna stay as Daredevil, player B? I guess
Player 2.
player. Well, no, it's like when you play Mass Effect, you want to play as the guy or the girl version.
Oh, yeah, I see what
Gender
you're saying.
flip. It just like it's
Yeah.
because so far I've been enjoying the story, and Zdarsky is a good writer. Like I said, I'm sad that we don't have Chichetto on here. Chichetto's art is phenomenal. Check out I think it's called Zero Life or Life Zero.
Life Zero. Yeah.
Life Zero, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Fall and Rise, Mayor for Hire, and Cleaning House. Looks 3 different stories. So hopefully this just turns out to be good, and that's all I can say about it. Really much. There's other variants on here. I don't want the Peach Momoko variant. That looks really horrible. This looks horrible. What the hell is this?
It's something.
It's something that shouldn't be. This
Something.
looks like, what this looks like? A Kickstarter or Indiegogo book. That
Well, hey, now. Hey, some of those books are pretty good.
Some of them are, and some of them are very bad. This looks like a grift. This looks like a grift to me. If this was the main cover,
maybe.
That could. Is that the main cover?
No, that's a variant.
That's a variant.
The Peach
But I'm just
Momoko.
saying, I guess some people like the Peach Momoko. Yeah. She looks like an antelope.
I like a fair amount of her stuff, but then there's a good amount of her stuff that I look at that I'm just like, no, I'm not digging that. Honestly, some of it I think if just the coloring was better, then it would be rendered better.
This is a good cover too. This is their Reese.
Oh yeah, that's I love the covers where he has like the little radar lines coming out from his head. I like
it. It's a nightstick for the blind. The right of the staff. So my late aunt used to teach for the blind, so that always reminds me of that stuff.
Well, it's always been what it was. What didn't his staff always turn into the Billy Club?
Originally it was a regular can. It curved over,
Yeah, it has a curve on it. Yeah,
but that So I'm not they changed it with the Ben Affleck into an actual walking cane. It's a stick and collapse. He pulls it. So so I'm not sure what it is now. But it's a collapsible baton now. That's what it looks like.
The Lubera variant looks pretty cool. It looks like a Todd Knock style almost.
Yeah.
With it's actually really cool too. I like that one. That one you have on screen. Is that Malieve?
That's the Chippendale one. Hey.
Chippendale.
It's a ladder. He's holding on to a fire escape ladder.
His hips popped. He's ready to hang out.
I like this one. I don't know. Maybe it's I like Todd Knox style, and this reminds me a lot of
Looks
that.
like a Ninja Turtle cover.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Here's the Foot Clan behind him.
Did you know the Foot Clan was named the Foot Clan as like a wink and a nod reference to the hand?
To the
right?
hand.
I know.
Okay. I remember when I learned
why
that. I was
she
like,
has the
hey, that's
size.
pretty cool. Yeah, she's Jenica, right? Oh wait, no, the size is Raphael.
Yeah, and then
That's
then he's got the Michelangelo
He's got the nunchucks.
nunchucks.
Yep.
So, like I said, hopefully it turns out to be well. I'm not expecting it to be too good, but I think out of what's out of it right now, I think it's one of the better ones.
Okay.
All right,
Cool.
that was my number 2. Zach.
No, skip.
No,
Skip.
That's right. Yeah,
You
sorry. I don't.
skip- You
I
started
almost,
to skip them at first.
I almost skipped Skip. Oh my gosh.
Almost skipped the skipper.
How many times have you heard that joke, Skip?
Oh, if I had a nickel. If I had a nickel, I wouldn't
Really?
be coming out the pocket for comics anymore.
In today's
that's for
society,
sure.
you get like half a penny.
For a nickel, maybe.
No, I'm just saying that because everybody's broke. See what he,
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
you-
Everybody except for Jeff Bezos.
he asked for a nickel and they give you like, here's a stick of gum.
Shoot, I'd take it.
Hey,
I
yeah.
would take it. Number 2, The Swamp Thing, issue number 13.
Nice.
Ram V, Mike Perkins, Mike Spicer on the coloring, Aditya Bidikar on the lettering. I love Ram V. Another book that I think Wes kept telling me to read this book. He said the Future State one was really good. And then he said it started off good and then he didn't enjoy it so much, but apparently everybody else did because it was only supposed to be like 10 issues and it got bumped up to 16.
Yeah, they bumped. That's like the only time I know of recently that DC that they did that. They took
Season
a limited
2,
run
is
and bumped
this
it up.
continuing from the TV show?
No.
No, it's kidding.
Nope. Which I heard was good, but I never watched it, so I wouldn't know.
What? It actually was probably one of the better DC shows.
That's what I heard. but
I
guess they
dare
didn't
to
balance
say
their
it's
budget
better than
well.
Moon. I dare to say it's better than Moon Knight.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't love the Future State 2-issue series as much. I liked how it ended, but I didn't really love it. But I've really been enjoying this series. Ron V just has a way of like taking a concept and just really making it work. And of course, I don't think anything's ever gonna be better than Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. But I can say that Ram V did a great job of kind of splitting the difference. It feels like a spiritual sequel to it, while also carving his own path and kind of playing with I don't want to say playing with the canon, but playing with the lore of the Swamp Thing and kind of making his own thing. And I really enjoy what he's turned it into. I enjoy how he's made it his own stylist. Well, yeah, kind of stylistically, but definitely on the script side of things and making the character kind of similar to his place of origin as well. And kind of making it like a family type thing too. So I've been really enjoying it. I really like what he's doing with the lore. And it does feel good to, legitimately enjoy a DC series that's not a limited series or a mini. So
yeah, I just want to point out, I kind of like this cover. It kind of looks like a zombified Big Show, Paul White. This is putting his arm up.
Yeah, kind of does. Kind of does. Yeah. And Mike Perkins is just doing his job on the art. I have to say, this is a comic where I continue, like, as much as I enjoy Ram V, they're definitely neck and neck. But I think sometimes I might enjoy Mike Perkins' art even more than Ram V's writing. That's a really interesting cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Arnan.
Oh, Ananda RK.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's a frequent collaborator with Ram V. I think the Aquaman Andromeda series that Ram V is going to be doing. I think they got Anand to come and do the art. So Anand has worked with him on. Currently working with him on Radio Apocalypse, which has been done a long time, but Vault just Vault Comics just keeps pushing back their series. But he also worked with them on Blue and Green, which is a really awesome graphic novel that they put out through Image like 2 years ago. Highly advise people read that. That was a very, very underrated series. And Graffiti's Wall which was I think the first story that I remember seeing them work together on. But all of them, incredible stories. And Anand RK has an ability in the middle of a book to like switch art styles, kind of like how Mike Huddleston did for Decorum and Jonathan Hickman, but he can switch art styles in the middle of a book and completely make it work. He's really, really incredible.
Nice. Telium, I've never heard of Dead Boy Detectives. Wait, they're from Doom Patrol, aren't they? Is that the for those who watch it? I'm probably the only one here on panel who watched Doom Patrol season 2.
I actually
they're the dead spirits. They're the spirits of the dead.
1.
They're ghosts. And they had to travel with this girl. Did not read it. I think Ingleton did. And then
they're in the 3rd season of Doom Patrol.
Yeah, and then who picked up Fox and the Hare? Did not pick it up. I believe it comes out tomorrow.
I think it is one of the new releases for tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in the chat. I guess they prefer the foot over the hand.
Because there are people, it's the internet. People like feet for some reason.
I guess so. Never understood it.
This looks like a horror movie. It's like if you're just rotting and your just face falls off. Ugh. That's horrific.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Swamp Thing. It's kind of years into that territory.
Is that supposed to be Alex's face? His hair and stuff, his body? Or is it someone else?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not reading Swamp Thing. It looks like a tomato, like on the back of his head. It looks like tomato. I keep seeing like a salad.
The brain, yes.
Kind of does.
Alec is saying that, not sorry, Alec, but Undead Quinn is saying that Swamp Thing is a very tense read. Keeps you on the edge of your seat, apparently.
I did like Ron V when he was on Catwoman. I was enjoying reading his run on Catwoman. Ron V he's one of the few, like a handful of writers at DC that whenever they write a book, my antenna goes up and I like to follow what's going on.
No, Marani, I didn't miss it. But your rebuttal to Eric, I saw it and I appreciate you correcting Eric because that rarely happens. Anybody correcting Eric because Eric is always right, like Ingleton, right? That's
what is it, like 60% of the time he's right every time or something like that.
I didn't want to say anything because he's older than me. I don't want to disrespect him. Plus, he's not feeling well.
Yeah,
you don't kick a guy when he's down
unless you're Evil Black Cat. Yes, that is true.
Well, Evil Black Cat does it for a profession.
Well, he's evil, so yeah.
Exactly. I can't. I'm not evil RDV. That would sound weird.
That's true.
Oh, and I stand corrected. Anand RK is only doing a variant cover for the Aquaman Andromeda Ron V series. Christian Ward is the artist who's doing the interiors.
Oh, okay.
I can't get it out of my head now every time I look at this cover.
Welcome to the big show. But anyway, yeah. So that's my number 2 book.
Sorry. Every time I see that cover, I think of the big show right away. Oh, wait. He's going to slap you.
Cover, obviously.
Slap your chest. Alrighty. Zach, let's go to you.
All right. So we are at my number 1. Just a little refresher, just counting down. So my number 5 pick was Deathstroke, number 9. Number 4 is Task Force Z, number 8. For number 3, I had Batman Fortress, number 1. My number 2 pick was DC versus Vampires Hunters, number 1. I'm just not realizing I have an all DC countdown because my number 1 pick also happens to be what I'm 99% sure is RDV's number 1 pick, Batman Beyond, The White Knight, number 3.
All right, let me give me a recap.
Yeah, since you got the same one, huh?
My number 5 was Moon Knight, issue 11. Hulk, number 7. Robin number 14. Devil's Reign Omega, number 1. And number 1 is Batman Beyond, The White Knights. Let's see, it's right here. And holy crap, I am getting all 3 covers. I've been doing it.
3? I'm getting the Batgirl one. I really like the Batgirl one.
I love this main cover right here. This has been good.
Mm-hmm.
You got every character in there. You got the cops. You got Barbara
He does
Gordon
these
in there.
great movie poster style.
Yeah, I know.
They are really great. The Batgirl, I love Sean Gordon Murphy's Batgirl costume design. It's different just enough to make it stand out from the main one. But
it hits because she's no longer Batgirl.
She's no longer Batgirl. Yeah, she's older now. But I love the flashback to it.
So
right
it's an awesome cover, action scene stuff, everything except the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to the last cover. Once it loads.
Yeah, the 125 Dustin Nguyen.
Yeah.
I want to say that's his name. I could be wrong.
Wow, what's going on here? Why is it loading so much? There it goes.
There you go. Well, that's the Batgirl one.
No, yeah. This is the 1 in 25 once it pops up. And I've been looking at this. I was like, this is awesome. For futuristic stuff. It kind of, you know what it reminds me of, Skip? Blade Runner Origins.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say Blade Runner.
Yep.
Anytime you look at something futuristic, RDV goes, "Oh, it's like Blade Runner."
Yeah. Well, you know what? Batman Beyond is a cyberpunk.
It is.
Setting.
That is
true.
More so because they have those covers from the creator of the Blade Runner.
The Sid Mead covers. Yeah, that's what I was.
You look at him. He has
the
what you call blueprints,
like the concept art. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw this, is like, oh my gosh, this is great, and this also looks close to the Sean Gordon Murphy art look of Batman Beyond. This looks like the normal one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, who did that cover?
This is Dustin
Nguyen. Dustin Nguyen. Maranya is correcting me.
Dustin Nguyen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like you pronounce like when.
Yeah.
And this is for those who are not following along, I really don't want to spoil you, but we found out a really, really big reveal at the end of the last episode. The last issue, because these feel like episodes, man. They
do. I could very easily, I know we talk a lot about how like a lot of comic writers are like writing for movies or television shows. Sean Murphy, this could very easily be made into like a mini series or event movie, show type deal. Yeah, the first issue already had a big twist in it.
Yes.
And then the second issue, it feels like it was an even bigger bomb that they dropped at the end of the second issue.
You got Bruce Wayne, who was let out last issue of prison because someone went in the cave and stole his suit when he never got a chance to wear the Batman Beyond suit.
Right.
Derek Powers, who's in control of the Wayne Corporation and everything that, had Terry steal the suit. And now he's working for Terry. But Terry doesn't realize that Derek Powers is the one that had his dad killed, murdered. So it's like Batman Beyond, but with Derek Powers knowing who Batman is and having him wearing the suit. And Bruce has to try to go after it. But then there's Harley Quinn's kids are her and Joker's kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're all grown up. They're like teenagers. In this issue, her daughter goes missing. And Bruce, who was allowed like a 5-second or 10-second, lead escape by Jason Todd, who's basically working for the they're not the JCPD anymore because the JCPD is not involved. This is actually Derek Powers has his own group of.
It's like a privatized military police.
Almost like with Batgirl with what are they called? I can't remember the name of the call. But yeah, privatized military. They work. The Crows. Yeah, that was in the Batman in the Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's and Dick Grayson, Brady Punch turned his back on basically doing the way stuff because he hates Bruce that much and the whole vigilante stuff. He's become a huge sellout, working for Derek Powers, and he confronts Bruce. He finds Bruce, and then and Bruce pretty much like hands it to him, like he hands his ass to him. And Barbara Gordon, who quit this group that was working for Derek Powers, went back and I think she's on the commissioner, right?
Yeah, she's the commissioner.
Commissioner Gordon
now. Yeah,
and she tells like, well, geez, look at that, all that anger and rage, and the old man still handed his ass to you, and he's been in prison for all these years, and like and just much more, I don't know, just more insult to Dick. And then there's a huge revealing at the end of last issue. I'm not going to spoil it, so if you haven't, I mean, this may piss you off, or it might make you it just blow your mind in general. But
Well, it's an
something
Elseworld story, so
it
really
is,
should,
and it's
yeah.
something between happened between Harley and Bruce, and you may not like it, or you may like it, but I won't spoil it for you. But yeah. Joker's daughter is pretty much she found out who her father is because Harley never told her kids that their father was the Joker. They only knew it was Jack. But so of course, because they're not kids find out crap on the internet all the time, she found out her dad's the Joker.
I like how
And
RDV says I'm not going to spoil it, and then proceeds to spoil past issues.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not spoiling the big thing. There's two big things that happened in the last issue.
I hear you.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna do it. So, as I said, it's every character in here, just like Kirkman does, or Rick Remender. Every character in this story has a reason why they're in there.
Yeah,
they're not just in there like background characters. They just kind of throwaways.
Yeah, right. There's no characters that are just there for exposition or to fill up a page.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sean Gordon, the artwork is, I mean, it's just top notch. Ever since issue 1, it's just each shot, each panel looks amazing. He does these fun little things where, like, starting in the first issue and then going to the second issue, the silhouettes. So if you ever see a character that's not in costume, like Bruce Wayne or Harley Quinn or Harleen Quinzel, whenever you see their silhouettes on the wall behind them, it's really cool the way he portrays their silhouettes versus what they're actually looking like right there in the moment. Really just fantastically done. And like I said earlier, I'm not a big Batman fan, and here I am reading, this is the second Batman book I'm getting this week. Sean Gordon Murphy just does everything he's done with the little Murphyverse has been just a really great read, really great takes on the characters. It's fresh. It's not like the same old stuff, you see all the mainline Batman books.
Oh, yep.
Which
The other
are
thing
great,
too is
but it's just overdone in my opinion.
there's two. It's really weird because they decided to release this the same time as another Batman Beyond book that's out. So it's I'm like a kid in the candy store, and I'm over like this hyper because my favorite character is Batman Beyond when it comes to DC. I love Batman, but I also love the fact that you have Old Man Wayne with Terry McGinnis, and just grumpy old man still calling the shots, and and he said it's a whole new world with all new villains. Because as much as I love Batman and his villains, I like that concept of new legacy villains or different villains, popping up. And this series promises to have more. I wouldn't be surprised if we have Spellbinder. Those who don't know who Spellbinder is, I wasn't here. He was basically a villain who had control, almost like the Shocker. If you think about it, he has in his palms and hands, he can control basically high frequency emitting speakers on his hands, cause you to go deaf and all. And so he's a classic villain, supposed to be rumored to be in this series, and I think he actually was in the last issue, or he might be in this issue. Doesn't let me look. I don't think he's in this one. No. But Duke Thomas is in here too. That's another character that's been actually growing on me too. Whoa, we got Victor Von Fries.
Yeah, I saw that. Mr. Freeze.
Oh, nice. So he said it's interesting to see Bruce, as you saw on the main cover. He came back, he grabbed his suit, went out, grabbed his suit, but instead of putting the mask on, he doesn't care, he just puts a hood on. Because everybody knows who he is. So it's an interesting take. It took me a while of Curse of the White Knight, like when he revealed, he took off his mask and revealed who he was. I was like, really? You're going this way? But it puts a different spin on Batman Beyond, but it doesn't ruin it. But I don't want to keep going on for 40 minutes on this topic. But I'll go to Skip and let's recap yours and go to your number one.
Recap time. Skip cap time. Gotta pull it back up here. All right. So my number 5 book was Image number 2, primarily because there is an Ice Cream Man short story in there. My number 4 book was Spectro number 1, nice horror comic from Aftershock Comics. My number 3 book was Department of Truth number 18, James Tynion, Martin Simons, conspiracy theory, sketchy art goodness. My number 2 book was The Swamp Thing number 13 by Ram V and Mike Perkins, art by Mike Spicer, or color art by Mike Spicer, and lettering by Aditya Bidikar. And my number 1 book, everybody should have known that I'd have a treat for you. It'd be a sweet, sweet number 1. Ice Cream Man number 1 from Image Comics. W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Morazzo, Chris O'Halloran on colors.
Is that a reprint?
And no, it's a now print. It's a this week print.
Try to find it.
It's issue number 30. It looks like a rat maze. It's right in the lower left corner.
Oh, right there. Okay.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said number. We threw me off with number 1. That's what threw me off.
Sorry, it's my number 1, but it's
yeah. My
it's
bad.
the 30th issue of
no,
the Ice
no
Cream.
Stillwater and no Zdarsky book.
No, I'm more of a fan of Zdarsky's personality than I am of his
Newborn.
No, there's no Newborn. No, I don't like Newborn. I dropped that. that's been off my pull list. Good Lord, no. And I love Jacob Phillips because he's tied to Brubaker and Phillips. Of course, he works with Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, his father, on all of their criminal series and all of that stuff. But
are you getting this cover?
Yeah, I get all the covers for Ice Cream Man whenever it comes out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Right?
Allow that.
I like how the dragon is made of bacon coming out of the hat.
2 eyeballs, 3, 4, 5. Ugh.
Allow that delectable cover to freak you out and gross you out. This one is interesting. Who's the subject? Every pill is a placebo. Every group is a control. I don't remember exactly what this one is about, although I have seen preview pages of it because he and the artist Martin Morazzo often share preview pages. I mean, they'll show up to like between 5 and 7 pages, but you still never know how the Ice Cream Man issue is going to go. But this is this consistently just some of the the most highly crafted comics in the game. The art is always top notch. Martin Morazzo, I've just watched him just increase, and progress as an artist throughout this series. But he stayed right alongside W. Maxwell Prince, just coming every issue, just being this crazy different concept that's so much different from the rest, but it always has a very grounding message. It always has a very eerie message, and it's always, whether in one way or another, far-fetched or not, so close to home in a lot of the things that we deal with day to day. If it's not us dealing with it directly, it's indirectly. Some of our family members, some of our best friends dealing with these issues, this existential fear, whether it's, how good of a father, will I be? Whether it's when I die, what is my legacy going to be? What am I truly leaving behind? Am I just leaving behind stuff, some boots, some comics, or am I leaving behind like memories and mantras and things to for people to continue on and get them through hard times and make them smile. So Ice Cream Man, and all of it with all of this happening with the Ice Cream Man always being a different symbol of evil, always being a symbol of impending doom, to be right over our corner, offering us ice cream with one hand and a knife in the other. So love this comic.
Personally, I'm gonna be buried with all my long boxes of comic books.
Why be buried with them? You could just be buried in them. Just staple your long boxes together to a long coffin. Now that's a true long box, right? Your coffin.
That sounds like a homicide case right there. They found his body inside the comic books. It's like, That sounds like an Ice Cream Man story right
That's what I
there.
was about to say. That sounds like an Ice Cream Man issue. Like, where did RDB ever go? We played hide and seek and he never showed back up. Nope, he's not over here. Not over here. No, he's not at his favorite bar. Nope, he's not ever
He
at
couldn't
his favorite
decide
shop.
which books he wanted to be buried with, so he's chopped up pieces of him.
Yeah,
wrapped in
yes,
separate books.
exactly. Yeah. You're bagged and boarded in all your long
Piece
boxes.
by piece.
Piece
and
by
filed.
piece. Yeah, exactly. He said and filed. Yep, you're numbered and you're all in order. You know, you've been
Right. No.
collated and
So,
preserved.
I wonder, is this cover gonna tie into the book, obviously, or is this just a random throw you off, like a herring? Because it looks like you get the mouse.
All of them.
I was looking through the maze. It actually works. You can actually fall through, and you go through here, and it actually leads to the other mouse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like
all
symboling
of the
yin and
covers are
yang,
functional.
like good versus evil.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of the idea behind it. Now the thing is, like I said, every cover always ties in to the issue, but you don't always, like with comic book covers, you know, and it, like, it's not always the truth, but when they're at their best and when they're at their most honest, it's great art giving you some idea of what's happening in the story. And I remember back into the 70s and 80s, it would literally be like dialogue happening, right? Like, you'll never defeat me, Flash, da. I've got to get rid of this guy to save the world. Like, you would literally get an idea for the story. Now, in more modern days, it's more of like how much we can attract the eye and not always dealing directly with the story. But this stuff, you read the book and you come back to the cover and it always relates. It's always an aha moment after I close the book and I come back to the cover and I'm like, oh.
I'm just thinking, who wants ice cream after reading all this stuff? I mean, I'd just be like, if there's a lot of gore in these books, I'm just thinking,
it's not very gory though. It's not really a gory book.
Every murder, like every person that dies has an ice cream cone, like next.
Oh, that'd be great. I want to taste all those flavors.
Like it's like I never read the series. Is the Ice Cream Man kind of like the Vampirella books, the Moore magazines? Like he's the host and reads the stories like a Crypt Keeper.
So it's not that formal. That's more like Hotel. Hotel is more formal in that sense. And this one, like the Ice Cream Man, isn't even always in it for most of the book. Sometimes he's only in it for a page. Sometimes he's like an Easter egg. You kind of have to try to find.
He's Waldo.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's like, where's Ricardus? That's his name. So you kind of have to try to find him sometimes, but more often than not, you know, like I remember in issue 25, it was like a really, really, really big issue. Yeah. He if I remember correctly, he's outside of like the backup story that's in the back, he's only on the cover. But the weird thing is this thing, okay, so it's a whole issue where a plane is crashing. So it's this guy going around to all the people on the plane, and he's like, why aren't you guys freaking out? Like, the plane is crashing. Like, what's happening? And everybody, for one reason or another, is calm. And like they've accepted their fate. He just hasn't accepted his yet. So eventually he gets to that point. But what made the plane crash? So the whole issue happened because the Ice Cream Man was the reason for the engine failure. And on the cover, there's like a little cut picture of him like, we're going down. So he's the reason why the whole issue is taking place, but he's only on the cover of it. So they always do like crazy clever stuff like that.
So he's like responsible for everything that happens. He's just the tied all together. He's the guy.
And one way or another, yes, but it's weird because we would be here all night. But all I'm going to say is,
I was just curious. Is this like a Black Mirror story anthology? Different stories going on in this. You know, they're not tied together, or are they just loosely tied together by that one thing that he's responsible for everything? You know, it's like
it's kind of both. So there's an overarching story that's going on that you get like bits and pieces of on random issues, but then like they're not all necessarily tied together. But at the same time, what he does is, like, it's totally normal to like look around and see characters from previous issues be in this issue, or they make a reference to a character from another issue in whatever issue you're reading. That's
kind of like what Brubaker does in a sense.
Yeah, like with like the criminal thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Cool. But it's even more Easter eggish. Brubaker does it more like this is a natural real world, like these things are happening in. And the Ice Cream Man, it is all happening in the same world, but he does it more intentionally for like Easter egg type effects, but he always makes it like like more or less integral to the story. I'm just telling you, it's really crafty writing. Not enough people are reading this book, and they're just letting one of the best comics that's been written in the last at least 10 years just kind of go by.
Now I know what happens when you snap because people aren't reading this and this book is canceled.
Pretty much, yeah. That'll be like you mess with my kids, or you like you let Ice Cream Man get canceled and then Skip snaps.
Well, you know what, Skip and Tosh, we found a pint of Edie's half eaten at the scene.
It was the Ice Cream Man all along. It was me. It was me. Man. Yeah, it was
it's like that scene from Jim Carrey from Liar Liar.
Yeah,
it was me.
I wish he didn't retire because he would be the perfect Ice Cream Man. This did get a TV show, greenlit by a TV show, by the way. But if it got made into a movie, he would be the perfect Ice Cream Man. I'm telling you, read the first 3 issues of this book and come back and tell me that Jim Carrey wouldn't be the perfect Ice Cream Man.
He would probably be better fit for this. I remember he tried to do some creepy horror suspense movie. Probably a decade ago. Number 23 or something. I remember seeing the previews for that one and thinking that was a really weird choice for Jim Carrey. I like any other movie.
Well, he did that. That was a couple years after he did Cable Guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Cable Guy
was funny, but it's also like a
little disturbing. Yeah,
because I could see that happening. You know, people
I think Ice Cream Man, probably would be a better fit for him.
Robert Roberts. Wasn't there an Ice Cream Man in New Jersey that killed 40 people off with cyanide sometimes for the mob and just for fun?
Oh wow.
Jeez.
I think that dude was called the Iceman. He was a hitman though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was an actual hitman. But one last thing to say about the Ice Cream Man. People don't often talk about this because they just talk about the horror elements and kind of how disturbing it can be. It's not very gory. It can be bloody, but it's funny. There's like a lot of comedy in it. Most of the time when I'm reading I'm like laughing and smiling.
Everyone skip. Murder is fun and funny.
Oh my God.
It can be, and it's not all about murder too. There's one of my favorite issues is it's a whole issue about like Alzheimer's, and they visualize Alzheimer's.
Funny too? Now you think Alzheimer's funny?
Now everybody's just gonna think I'm a piece of garbage guy. Skip. Don't hang around. Skip. Anyway, that's my number. That's my number 1.
Awesome. Yeah, now I just gotta think about it. That's gonna be a new movie. The Ice Cream Man. He just goes around and he just takes a scoop out of you.
That'd be fun.
Oh, what's this new flavor? Your mom.
Oh,
so disturbing.
Don't care for that. Kid. Don't care for that at all.
All right. I think I saw somebody drop some of their pull list. I think it was
Undead Quinn. He does that every week. And I'm scrolling up the chat here.
I know, I'm looking. Looks like he has a 4. I don't see a 5.
He's got 4. He's got 4. Yeah, he's got 4.
Robin number 14 is his number 4. Number 3 is Swamp Thing number 13. Unnatural Blue Blood number 1 is his number 2, and his Batman Beyond White Knight number 3.
Well, welcome to the club,
Undead Quinn. Once we're done here, if you can repost those in the comment section, anybody else who also hasn't, even if we're getting 1 book or 2 books, or if you have a prediction, what you think will be the top 5, this week, leave a comment.
Yeah,
and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I saw some people are giving some likes. Awesome, I love that. I love the fact that we have 9 people watching. This is crazy. Whenever I see the puppets go live, it's like 2 or 3 people.
Well, puppets are creepy.
See what it means? Yeah, puppet team.
I'm just kidding.
Keep the puppets down. More humans.
I'm gonna wake up with a puppet at the foot of my bed trying to kill me.
So
He's
this
gonna
is
leave
the
an
other
ice
book.
cream cone on my chest.
Yeah.
This is the other book that came back. Is Brian K. Vaughan's Saga.
Oh yeah, Saga. I heard that one was
continuing that.
Up. Yeah.
Maybe it's number 2, which I'll not be getting, and I can't wait till tomorrow. People complain how horrible it is.
Oh, people in my LCS were already complaining about it last week.
What? How horrible? What is?
The new Amazing Spider-Man run.
Oh,
How
really?
how
People
Peter
weren't liking
Parker
it?
is
Well,
not
no,
not from
they
what I can
basically
tell, because
he
Peter Parker
caused
is just like the whipping boy for
yeah,
Marvel.
and he caused a bomb to go off and just kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Even MJ wants something to do with him,
MJ,
and she's got a
Ant-Man,
new
Fantastic
boyfriend, and she has
Four,
2 kids.
Yeah.
So it basically was a kick in the nuts. Who basically thought that they were going to get back together because Spencer had set him up. Spencer had just retconned, I think it was Original Sins,
Maybe.
or the one basically the whole Gwen, boinking Norman having kids. He retconned that, saying it never happened.
We don't talk about that ever.
Well, I can't talk about the other one, so I got to talk about something.
Fresh news. I don't know if there is an X-Men book coming out this week.
I
don't see any on the list.
Legion of X is the only thing I see.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay, darn. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, a week without X-Men.
Other books I thought about picking up. I mean, well, I'm definitely getting Detective Comics number 1060. It's Riddler story, but is it really Riddler? There's like a bunch of people dressed up as a Riddler doing crimes. So he's trying to figure out what's going on because the Riddler is basically calling out Batman every morning and saying, and when's Batman going to protect our city? We get rid of him because people keep happening, people keep dying. And he's blaming Batman for it. I'm not getting Punisher, but I want to point out this. So, Captain Frugal, if you're listening, you need to sue them because they have your likeness right here. Look at that. They have an evil little version of Captain Frugal.
Yeah.
That's good.
They do. That is true. Yeah, I've got a few extra books on my pull list. Most of them are ones that you actually talked about. Moon Knight, Hulk, Devil's Reign, all the Marvel books actually.
Or Spins Pass,
that
sorry.
I'm getting.
I think Eric. Yeah.
I'm also going to be picking up. There is Adventure Man number 9 from Action Comics, written by Mac Fraction, with the Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson doing the art.
Aren't you getting the Spider-Man 2009 Exodus?
No.
It's got a future Winter Soldier.
No, I'm not reading Spider-Man 2099.
I kind of am tempted because I love the character, but I'm like, I just know what they're gonna do when you get these new writers writing these characters.
Well, I don't think you can say you know what they're gonna do. I mean, you don't really know until you read it.
They have a tendency to do what you don't want them to do.
You can have an educated guess, but I mean, he could surprise you.
When you can't get when Marvel started, everybody knows this. Marvel's been hiring the original writers to come back and write their comic books they wrote 20 or 30 years ago. And they're writing not retcons, but stories that take place wherever you want to choose, but takes place during the original runs. And they're better than anything else Marvel's putting out right now. I even say better than Daredevil. Better than Thor and Daredevil and Hulk.
I don't know about that.
Peter David writing anything Hulk. He's writing Maestro right now. You also have JD DeMatteis, or is it yeah?
DeMatteis.
Yeah, DeMatteis.
Yeah,
writing Ben Reilly Spider-Man. You also got David Michelin writing Carnage. He's also writing a Venom's Lethal Protector. These are better. I can't explain it, but I just mean more than just go read it and tell me if you prefer that or you prefer what's put out by Marvel.
Well, in answer to Fresh News' question, I'm actually loving Donny Cates' Hulk book. I'm not normally a big Hulk fan, but I've been liking what Cates has been doing with Hulk, having Bruce Banner steer him around. I like the Thor Hulk crossover.
I think having Thor
a lot. Ryan Otley's art helps out a lot too.
The Thor crossover, I think, is really helping on the book because up until this point, I was kind of bored by the Hulk. It was okay. It was a new story, but the art was good, but the story was kind of meh to me.
Well, it was just the first story arc. You gotta, give him a chance to build up a little bit. I know some people if it doesn't grab my attention by one issue, I'm dropping it. But
X-Men Red, the current one or the one from
the Tom Taylor one? I didn't care for. I'm not reading I'm only reading one X-Men book now, and that's the 92 one.
Well, yeah, reading that one, and sadly, X-Men Legends is no longer.
Oh yeah, but they're not doing X-Men Legends anymore.
I don't know if it's
getting
the last issue was Claremont, so I don't know if they're coming back or not.
No, I thought they were. Hang on, let me pull it up because Roy Thomas, I think, was coming back to write 1 or 2. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, these. what Fresh is saying about DC waiting until Batman was on HBO Max to read all these Riddler books. The Riddler tie-in stories are pretty good, and I love this. I love when Riddler's a challenge for Batman. I hate when they just make him like, oh, 1, 2, 3, boom, he's gone. They did that in Tinian, because he wasn't the main villain, so they turned him in like, oh, he's in the main manor. Find him in 10 seconds. What's the else going on? Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 3. Aquaman, not ma'am, number 4. Power Rangers Universe. This is crazy too. IDW is doing Power Rangers, and then you get Power Rangers from Boom Studios.
Yeah, where they're fighting Godzilla.
That's IDW is that one. But the Boom Studio has their own Power Rangers Universe. So that basically sounds like multiverse to me.
Yeah, everybody's getting on the multiverse these days.
Red Sonja, which is the one I told you that it's not really. It's basically cosplayer Red Sonja. It's not even really Red Sonja. If you want to read a good Red Sonja, Immortal Red Sonja right now. It's probably the best Red Sonja out there.
Immortal Red Sonja, I don't even read Red Sonja, but Immortal Red Sonja is pretty good.
What else we got here? We got the Vampire Slayer number 2, which Boom has been doing pretty good as far as the Buffyverse. I kind of dipped out because I've been reading other books. I'll probably go back into it. Here's an Unnatural Blue Blood, which I believe was on Undead Quins.
I believe so.
It looks like we got a pig and a mouse.
Oh, X-Men Legends, it is still being printed. It just got pushed back. It was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out in May. It got pushed back to August, but Roy Thomas is writing it still. So you just got to wait until the end of the summer.
Usagi Yojimbo, Lone Goat and Kid. Number 5.
Usagi Yojimbo.
I don't care. It's a rabbit samurai. There you go.
Fresh news. That's an interesting question. If Cates' Hulk will bring back the Ultimate Universe. I'm kind of always iffy when people want to go back to the Ultimate Universe. I enjoyed the Ultimate Universe.
I hope they do.
But
because remember,
all my favorite parts of it are dead. So it's like, I mean, I don't want to go back there. They killed all my favorite parts.
I think he might. Because remember, Cates was doing Venom, and Venom had the Maker.
Venom did have the Maker, which was Reed Richards.
And he escaped back to his world.
Yeah, you're right. Which also is weird to me because they smashed the Ultimate Universe and the main universe together in Secret Wars. So they merged one and the same. So it's weird to me that you could still have an Ultimate Universe.
That was Hickman.
I know. Yeah. Thanks, Hickman, for
Hickman's gone.
With my brain.
Hickman's gone.
I love Hickman most of the time, but
they're undoing everything Hickman does.
It's like watching a Chris Nolan movie. I got to go read it like a few times.
Zombie versus Robots, classic number 3 for Image Comics. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, which is also on my pull list. Didn't make it into my top 5. What else we got here? Elvira and Horrorland, number 1. If you like the Betty Page stuff, I imagine that's probably just as well, written well. What do we got here? Shadow Service number 12 from Vault Comics. Scout Comics are the Recount Preamble number 1. The Collector, Unit 731 through Dark Horse, that's their issue number 2. Pearl number 3, issue number 1 by Dark Horse Comics. That sounds kind of cool.
By Bendis Comics.
Is it Bendis? Oh, it is. I didn't notice that. The cover looked interesting though.
Yeah, that's the old Alias crew, Bendis and Gatos.
Yeah, all new experience in the Yakuza saga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The stuff that I like the most from Bendis is usually if it's street level or if it has to deal with like gangs and stuff like that. So yeah. He's good with that stuff. I have cover. I think I have the first 4 issues of cover that I do plan on reading here in the next month or so. By Bendis.
Willy's Wonderland prequel number 4. It's a horror one. That's creepy. American Mythology. My Little Pony. Where's the My Little Brony? Really? Well, I imagine. I'm not carried away.
I will say on this list, normally when we get down to this is about where I tap out. But if you have not if you didn't do like the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo for the Black Ops USAGI which if you sound it out, it's Usagi, which is Japanese for rabbit. It's really clever, guys. Black Ops, though, that Black Ops book is a ton of fun. Apocalypse Now. Really great. I got it from their Indiegogo, or it might have been their Kickstarter. Really fun, clever book from Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. Worth checking out. If you like the Common America comics, this is in the same universe. Fun little story. You know, I shared it with my sister. I loaned her my copy a while back. She really dug it. So worth checking out if it's at your LCS.
All right, we got I'll get to the books again. Myth and Legends Quarterly. This is Jasmine as an action adventure story. I'm like, I'm giving it a shot because it's not normally a book I would read through Zenoscope, but it's quarterly. It's a different character, and it's the lad is Jasmine. So I'll see how it works out. She's got flaming swords in here. Van Helsing has been good too. Unlike the show. Exciting comics. Never heard of this, but it's Eric Prentice. It looks like a superhero show or comic book. Murder Hobo, Chaotic Neutral.
That looks like a Punchline character there on the cover. I could be wrong though.
Nice at the Dinner Table 296 by Kenzer and Company. I think the LK he's been reading that. Dreadful Dreamscapes, Three Stooges, Play Ball #1 of American Mythology. I don't know if that's gonna be good or bad, but it looks like a cool cover. Archie, always. Steve Bissett, comic book creator. Issue number 28 from Tomorrow's, which also those are the people who do the magazines for Alter Ego and Back Issue. And then we get Alias, Black and White, number 5 for those reading that. And then you got your weekly Shonen Jump, which I've never seen in the comic book store, but it's on here. And then this caught me off guard. I didn't realize there was Stan Lee Starborn through Boom Studios. You ever hear this before, Skip, at all?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I didn't know that it was actively going on through being published through Boom.
Yeah, final issue, number 12. It's Stan Lee's Superman's Chris Robertson, Spider-Man's Gary Randolph. Bring the sci-fi superhero scorched to close, and the chemist epic collusion. CrossFit has been everyone talking.
They got Carrie Randolph doing the art.
That's right. Yeah. Mitch Jurge is doing the coloring. John Boy Myers doing the cover.
That's interesting.
I know, right? I'd never heard of this. Apparently, it must have started a couple months ago. Well, it says 2011, so what the heck that means?
It probably gets published infrequently, but because that's issue number 12.
Yeah.
Guess they do like one a year. Everybody just like
well, this started number 1. Oh shoot, number 1 started back in 2010, back when Stan Lee was still with us. So that one was written by Chris Robertson and also Carrie Randolph worked on.
So now I kind of really want to read this.
Nice.
Let's check this out. I mean, it's weird.
Let me know how it is.
Well, it's weird seeing a Stan Lee book, not in Marvel. And an indie thing.
Yeah, it looks like he joined up with he wanted to create something new. So it looks like because he's listed as the creator, Chris Robertson is the writer. So that's interesting.
And seeing John Boy Myers doing something outside of Marvel or DC. Mitch Gerards or Grads, whatever you want to call him. No, like I said, it's just almost like you'd see it like, during the 90s when you saw some of the creators running over to Image. So I am just we're Boom Studios. So let's see. Willy Wonderland is pretty good. Robert Roberts is talking about serial killers that he knows too much about. I don't know. Maybe watch those crime documentaries, We lost 2 viewers, so I think it's time to end this. All right, so that's our top 5. Thank you for joining us, Skip. I hope everyone here had fun. I know I did. I always have fun doing this, and hopefully I'll be better next week. Also we wish speedy recovery to
Green.
To Mr. Breen.
Yeah, man, get better.
Mr. Softy truck for I guess he's talking about. Okay, that's Rob Roberts. I'm not reading your comments anymore, man. You're just freaking me out, man. Serial killer talk over there. Ronnie's saying Mitch Gerads. And where are we going with that?
Gerards.
Mitch G. I'll call him that. Mitchy G. Can be good at most of the time. He relies on digital art tricks. You know what, though? I'm sure a lot of people just draw digital these days. That's how you separate the person who actually can draw from the person who just uses digital to do it for them. All right. Yeah, join us on, tomorrow the puppets are back. And then Thursday, Zach and I will be back. And I think, Skip, if you want to join us for the best of the week, so we can see if your top 5 make it into there as well.
I got painting to do on Thursday, so unfortunately I won't be with y'all.
It's like the most random thing. It's like, I need to lie. I'm just going to
I could have said the ice cream man's coming to eat me, so there was always that. But I will catch y'all next week.
All
Green,
right.
don't worry. We'll end this before.
Sounds good.
If Evil Black Cat here be saying he'd be saying that to Breen, wrap it up already.
Yep. All righty, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night, guys.
Y'all have a good night and have fun at the comic shop tomorrow.
All right. Get some ice cream, man. Comic book.